Village leaders in Kewaskum, a community that straddles Washington and Fond du Lac counties, will vote tonight on a travel advisory. This would warn people who live there against visiting Milwaukee during next week's DNC. Ryan Jenkins spoke with the village trustee who is proposing the travel advisory. He says he fears Milwaukee will become overwhelmed by protesters next week.
The travel advisory recommends that people who live in the village of Kewaskum avoid all non-essential travel to the city of Milwaukee from Sunday until Friday next week, as the mostly virtual DNC takes place anchored right here at the Wisconsin Center.
We know that protests are likely to occur.
Kewaskum Village trustee Dave Spenner, who was a former Milwaukee police officer and once served as Racine's chief of police, says he doesn't want the people he represents to travel to Milwaukee while the DNC is ongoing.
It's really not a question in my mind about who's right or who's wrong with this. It's just that under these circumstances, I believe that the city's going to be overwhelmed, and it's not the right time for a recreational travel to Milwaukee.
Trustee Spenner points to images of what he calls dangerous protests and civil unrest to justify his calls for the warnings, saying police can only do so much to prevent violence.
Well, I think they're going to do the very best that they possibly can.
Ahead of Wednesday night's vote on whether to implement that travel advisory, MPD released a statement saying, quote, "The Milwaukee Police Department remains committed to preparing for a safe, secure, and successful Democratic National Convention. And if the advisory is passed, it would serve only as a warning."
It's an advisory. There's no consequence. I understand that there's people that need to go to Milwaukee on a regular basis. And even through this same process, I think that it will encourage them to thoughtfully consider their routes, the timing of it, what time of day that they go into these things.
Today, during a press conference in Milwaukee, I tried to ask Mayor Tom Barrett for his reaction to the proposed advisory, but he would not give a comment. The Kewaskum Village Board will vote on this proposal tonight at 6. Reporting near the Wisconsin Center, Ryan Jenkins, TMJ4 News.